Okay, so my package has arrived. I've covered up the addresses and I've got it cut, ready to take open. And so I got this. It is an HP ProBook 640 G3. It has i5 core and 2.6 with a burst of, I think, 3.5 processor speed and 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I think like over 200 storage. So here we go. I'm going to do this unboxing, and then I'm going to do a function test, and I'm going to do the performance test review of this particular computer that is not very many reviews, and I've looked and looked and looked, and even the person that sold it to me told me there aren't very many reviews of these types of computers. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so this seller, I think he did a pretty good job in communication. I bought it on eBay. A lot of times they have display models that are either lightly used, refurbished, or just with those display models, and you get them at a really, really good price. I got this for it was priced at $125, and I don't know if I can't remember if the shipping was free. And then he offered it $100, so I accepted the offer, and that's a pretty good price because I priced them elsewhere and they were more than that. So I felt like the seller had excellent reviews and lots of reviews. And so, and anyways, this is a Windows 10 Pro, which I've never used Windows 10 Pro. One of the differences is that you have the ability, it's encrypted. Now you can bypass the encryption, which I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to do that. But anyways, I appreciate this type of packing. I know I've watched some reviews and they like the nice, slick. I saw one, it was like a MacBook being opened, but I didn't think it was very, I would rather have it packed. And I don't care if this packing is ugly. I don't need a fancy looking packing. I want it secure. I care more about security. And this is pretty decent packing. So here's the cord. And I'm going to pause this and get this out of the wrapper. Okay, there we have it. It's nice and sleek. Let's see if I can. I think I can open it with one hand, and that's nice when it comes to hinges. I can open it with one hand. Not that I would do that as a habit, but you know that just shows it has a nice hinge. My other one I can't open. Now I just want you to know. One of the issues is Roblox updated to 64-bit, makes updates, and I have an older computer with 1.10 processor, and you know Roblox minimum requirement for processor speed has been 1.6 for a long time, and I've been getting by with 1.10, and I don't know what the burst is on that, but not anymore. So I don't know if the battery's charged on this, and it has the backlit keyboard, which I really like, and it is on a charge. So I'm not even got it plugged in yet, which I'm going to go ahead and plug it in though, because I don't know how charged the battery is. Ooh, look at that pretty picture. That's nice. It is a 1920 by 1080 resolution, which I was very picky about because in the 1366 by 768, you have a lot of rescaling. So if you have an older computer or you're considering getting a computer, if you're uploading to YouTube, they do like downscale and rescale, and it's just better if you have 1920 by 1080. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I have it plugged in. Now, one of the nice things about difference between Windows Pro and Windows 10, this is Windows 10 Pro, is that, well, it's encrypted. And if you don't want it encrypted, you can bypass that. So that's nice that you have an option. This is basically a casual, it's a business type computer. It's smaller than my other laptop. I think this is a 13.5 inch screen. My other one's like 14.5, 15 inch. So at any rate, so off we go then. Press on the Windows button here, and it does not bring up. Oh, okay, so I have to click this. Okay, so here is the system properties. 8 gigabytes RAM. Now, just so you know, if this is my gaming purposes are light. I'm not trying to do heavy duty gaming, but I have watched many people with the same system properties, not the specific model, but the same system properties, game Grand Theft Auto and some of those who have your higher end gaming. You can tell the difference between their screen picture like quality and those with the higher processing and the, you know, the more expensive gaming. And really the only difference I saw was it more clarity, but it was still a good picture. And for the amount of bandwidth I have in my internet, where I live way out in the country, and they stretched their lines as far as they could to get to my house. So I don't have the best bandwidth. I have about 25 download megabytes per second and 5 to 6 on upload. So it, you know, I couldn't even really do a whole lot here anyways, no matter what equipment I really have. You still have to have good bandwidth. And if you ever seen that message, if you're watching a video on your device or on your computer, and depending on where you're at, you might see a message, experiencing internet problems, are you wondering why? You know, and you click on the button and basically it tells you you have standard internet speed. So if you're watching especially something in the higher definition and the higher resolution, then you're going to need better bandwidth. That's the bottom line. So at any rate, I'm just showing the basics of this computer. One thing about this, I do like the backlit keyboard. And the nice thing about this is it's a battery saver. So it will only, like if you're not touching the keyboard, the backlight will go off. It go in sleep mode until you touch it again. And I think that's nice. See what it just did? So that's nice because it helps to, you know, preserve on battery life. So that's nice. And so this is your Windows 10 Pro and 64-bit operating processor. Let's see, 8 gigabytes of RAM. And so here's the processor speed. And this is your main thing because you can play with only 4 gigabytes of RAM. You can, but you need to have at least 2 gigahertz processing speed. Okay. And as far as graphic cards, the Intel Core i5, I have watched various videos on the differences between the i5 all the way up to i7. And honestly, definitely I would want i5 in more than I would want i3. But as far as i7, the specific function test that they did on this one review, which I thought was a great review video, was the i5 actually fared better. And at any rate, for this price that I paid for this, I paid $100 for this computer. And that's pretty fair. You know, I don't game a lot. I only do Roblox. And I'm telling you, don't let anybody tell you you have to have 16 gigabytes to, you know, play Roblox. No, you don't. Go to Roblox website. They will tell you you need to have a minimum of 1.6 gigahertz, and the memory is actually small. But if you have 8 gigabytes and 2.6, you know, and you should be fine. So there should be no reason why I cannot get on Roblox, because I've been able to get on my phone, on my Android on Roblox, but my computer is just, it's just too bogged down. And I played with 1.10 gigahertz processor speed on Roblox with a 4 gigabyte RAM. Okay. And I got by, but there was slow loading times, some lagging, but I'm telling you, I was able to play with even that. But, you know, being under the minimum they require now is just not working since they've done their updates, is what I believe. Lots and lots of people have complained about not being able to get on Roblox. So I don't know if they're having function issues or if it's actually a device thing. Okay, so, but with this device, there should be absolutely zero zilch reason to not be able to get on. So this was installed on May 20th, 2023. And, you know, I just think this is a nice little, you know, casual laptop. So here we go. So here's my local storage. It's 203 gigabytes free out of 237 gigabytes, which is, you know, I have my older computer that I do my office stuff with, and I have a passport and flash drives that if I'm like, mostly I don't use a whole lot of storage. I don't download a whole lot of stuff, but I do photography, and that is what blogged up my other computer, because I shoot in the RAW, and those are like 12 to 16 gigabytes per picture. And of course, when you're shooting in flying birds and you're shooting a lot of shots, I mean, it can just add up quickly, right? And I go through all the ones that aren't, you know, ones I would actually use or sell, and then I get rid of the rest. But I do like to save a lot, and I mean, it just blogged up my computer pretty quickly. But I'm not going to do that with this computer, so this should be plenty of storage. It's just, it's just a nice little computer with, as you see, it has the Core i5. It's the 7th generation. So yeah, I think that this came in nice condition as it was advertised thus far. I'm going to do a performance test, and I will do a separate video getting on Roblox and showing how that works. But I have some chores to do before it gets dark before I can do that. And so stay tuned for the second part to this HP ProBook Windows 10 Pro review. And I'm going to go into some specifics about Windows 10 Pro and other things about this specific computer. And if you want to know how to bypass the encryption, then that's a nice feature too. Again, this is a business class type computer, so having encryption options is pretty nice. And yeah, so I'm going to do a Roblox performance test and just do some surfing, general surfing, and some speed tests and whatnot. And that will be part 2, and give the overall review of this video in part 2. Stay tuned. Thanks for stopping in, and clue word is ProBook, and that is how you spell it.